Hey Flosstube, this is Tara with Wild Woman Crafts, and there are 1,000 of us here. What? What even? Thank you so much. I am gagged. More than 5 of you showed up. Thank you so much. Welcome to anyone who is new. I promise to not that this is a huge goal that I'm very excited about. 1,000 subscribers is very awesome, very exciting, and like I said, I have more than surpassed my hopes for Flosstube by sheer fact that I'm like talking to other stitchers and getting to attend in-person retreats and stuff. Like, I just can't describe how I feel that this has sort of opened up this hobby for me in such a way that I never would have anticipated when I started stitching in mid 2020. Seriously, a few other kids as a kid aside. But yeah, I truly am floored and so happy. And you might have seen from the thumbnail, I haven't decided if I'm going to put it in the thumbnail or not, but I have a finish today that I think hopefully is well worth that meets the excitement of 1,000 subscribers, because it's so exciting. So I don't want to go on about this too long, but thank you so much. I hope if you are new now that you feel like sticking around, and otherwise you have something to work on and are ready to see some stitching and some knitting today. If you're newer, you probably have not seen me really show any other crafts because I haven't really done them, but I have 2 knitting projects today. So let's get into it. Without further ado, I like to start with my finishes. I don't have any fully finished objects. Yikes, I'm behind this month. But I do have a couple of finishes for you. So the first one is my last of my Rogue Round Robin, which is with the Julies, Julie of Kansas City Girl to Colorado World, Julie of Julian Stitches, and Miriam of Marumi Crafts. They have been so fun to do this with. The perfect, like, relaxed group. Like, everyone's staying on top. Like, I think we're just all independently responsible, and that's made it really nice. It's like, we're laid back, but everyone also is, like, very on top of it, I feel. So this has been an extremely relaxed group, very fun, would totally do it again. But I did finish Julie's piece, so hers is completely done now. So this is Reflections of Scotland by Ink Circles, and I love the colors that she chose, the fabric, the floss. It is so good. So this is, for a reminder, 32 count linen by a dyer on Etsy called Nicholas Flamel, who sold a pack of fabric called the Bronte Sisters, and so the 3 pieces of fabric were not individually named, but this is from that pack. And I just love it. Just looks like mossy weathered stone on a castle. It's so good. And then the Gloriana silk here is, of course I'm not gonna remember off the top of my head. Let me grab it. I did this last time. But it is a Gloriana silk in the color Highland Garden. Also so appropriate, like just the theming throughout. She sent like an Outlander bag, just a perfect stitching experience all the way around. Got that Thistle needle minder. This was definitely one of those ones that it took me stitching it to notice some of what I was stitching. So, in this, I thought this was fun. So there's like a big sword in the corner. I think that was kind of obvious. I believe this is supposed to be a bagpipe with like a music note that I thought was fun. There's some flags. I think we kind of got like castle vibes going down here. Of course, the thistle is reflected. Yeah, I think that was the main things that I kind of pulled out while working on this, but so fun. Very excited to have it back in Julie's hands safely. I will ship it off, hopefully, if not this weekend, early next week. And yeah, let's pick the next one, ladies. I'm ready. So that is finish number 1. Finish number 2, we're saving the best for last, is my little Solstice snail from the Black Needle Society in-person retreat. So cute. This is, yeah, like I said, the Black Needle Society's in-person retreat. Every year there is a snail, and this is the snail for this year. So it was very cute, kind of coordinated with this little like passport needle minder we got here. I just love the colors in this palette. I'm just gonna show them off again because I love them so much. All Gentle Arts, and I hope to at some point cast on like the big project that came at the retreat this year, but it's probably not a right now thing, but I love it. And this fabric is the called for, which is 32 count vintage linen by Stitch Me, and there is plenty left here for me to stitch the big chart, which is by Design. So I have that all kind of just like sitting in one of my little Ginny bags. It's all ready for when I'm ready to get going on the big chart. And now, look up from your stitching. Well, don't look up from your stitching yet. I'm still grabbing it. Ladies and germs. I don't know what came over me. Okay, I finished Twisted Rainbow Sampler. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get something to block the back because we know this is see-through. What? Oh my gosh. Make sure, let's see, in case it's the thumbnail. Yeah, wow, look at that. It's all done. It's all done. Look how large this is. Yeah, this is my oldest work in progress. Well, not anymore. This was my oldest work in progress. I started it in June of 2021. And I mean, honestly, it fits pretty good on this board here. And this chart is by Northern Expressions Needlework. It is the sequel. There's another chart that it's like its sister chart that I think is called the Twisted Band Sampler, and this is the Twisted Rainbow Sampler. I use the Dinky Dye Silk Pack for this, and while I had kind of scheduled it out over the rest to finish this out by the end of the year, I was working on the second half of this cross stitch band, which is what was like due this past weekend. And then honestly, this specialty band was one of the ones I liked the look of the most, and so I was very excited to stitch it, and it was very satisfying to stitch. So I just sort of cranked that out because I was excited about it, and then I was like, what am I gonna do, not stitch the butterfly? Yeah, so in one, I think I did finish the cross stitch band, and I was kind of like, I'll wait. But then once I started this band, I spent like a very concerted long afternoon and did all the rest of this. Oh my gosh, there it is. I guess if anyone were to think about purchasing the Dinky Dye Silk Pack for themselves, I will just note, I'm very happy with the finished product. But these two greens, these are two different greens, and you probably would not have guessed that, and you probably couldn't tell. Even knowing it, I don't think you can really tell looking at them. And I will say this corner did start to get a little bit muddy. So like there's this color that goes through halfway through the band. You can kind of see that delineation there. And then again, there's another color that splits right here. And then this little, like the tail and the bottom half of the butterfly are a different color as well. And I do think, I mean, it is more of a gradient, I guess. Like it's a lot less severe than some of these other cuts. So I don't know. Part of me is like, I recommend it. Obviously, I'm very happy with the finished product. But then the other part of me is like, there's so many beautiful thread dyers out there now that I kind of feel like I want to see if someone else were to tackle this, you try, you know, get a pack from somebody else, get somebody else to dye you a rainbow, or I don't know, be Stitch Me, or like everyone. Looking at all the Pirate Robin flosses that are going around right now, I'm like, I bet she would make a stunning rainbow. But I'm very happy with my Dinky Dyes, and obviously stitching with silk is a very luxurious experience. Yeah, so we're gonna keep looking at this. Yep, and it was stitched on 28 count Jobelin, black Jobelin by Zweigart. And the cross stitch, I did stitch 1/2 on 28, and I do quite like how it came out, and I do think, you know, the silk is pretty fluffy, so I think it held up to that pretty well. I really am happy with it, even though I wouldn't normally stitch 1/2 on 28 for sure. And then the specialty bands are all called for as like one strand no matter what you're using in the chart, except for the satin stitches here. They do call for 2 there, and I do recommend some kind of laying tool for that. So I do think, as far as finishing goes, she is worthy of a frame. I don't know when that will come to me. This might be worth a custom frame to me. I have to kind of figure out what the dimensions are and how possible that is to find in person, but this one's definitely worth a frame. And yeah, I'm just sort of shocked. I just really, yeah. And I will say, even stitching that last butterfly, I was like, man, I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of this, but we got there in the end. It's amazing. I'm so happy. And this is great to clear off because we got other big projects coming our way quick. So I got other problems. That is all the finishes, all the thrilling finishes. And next up, I have one new start since we last chatted. And basically I'm ready for Halloween stitching. So I got one started, and the one I chose to start was, and I did this as a Friday, in September there was a Friday the 13th. So I feel like this was already planned. So I figured I definitely needed to pick one of my Halloween charts for Friday the 13th. So I chose Witch's Hollow by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I got this in their Halloween box last year, but it is now available as a chart on their website. And I think from what I saw this morning, the PDF is supposed to be going up, but they're also on vacation. So if you order the paper chart now, you're not gonna have it shipped out for a little while, but hopefully if they can get the PDF listed today, you can get started on that. And I had a really grand old time with this, so I got a pretty good start in here. Ooh, it looks fluorescent. It is fluorescent. Yeah, so I center started, but I think because the top of the chart is like basically the full coverage section, I want to work that way. So like looking at the chart, there's so much glare, I'm so sorry, but like I started, yeah, right here, and I worked up to like these steps to this big haunted house because I kind of want to be up in that full coverage area because I figured tackle the full coverage while you're excited at the beginning. But I'm loving how this is looking. This is Jackson Fabric Arts linen in the color Soul. It's a 32 count hemp linen. It's very soft, it's just got like great flow. It's very enjoyable to stitch on. I really like it, and this is going great. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, all call for DMC. Needleminder was from the box last year. They had like different street names, so I got the Sleepy Hollow one. That was the one I got. So very excited to keep working on this. You'll definitely see it more over the next 6 weeks. Yeah, I think that's all the pertinent information about that. Next up, so yeah, that's my only start. I was pretty reasonable with the starts. So I have 4 whips to run through with you real quick. And the first up, Dinosaur Forest. This is now my oldest work in progress. And I'll put up where it was last time you saw it. It is also going really well. And honestly, this is one that I may just have an afternoon where I run away and I'm like, let's just do it. But I don't know. I've been enjoying the process of like weekly stitching with this one. Twisted Rainbow, we had a love-hate relationships. Like, even though I had 2-week goals on that, I would sometimes find myself like dreading it. But anyway, here it is. making great progress. I started, you can see this week's stitches. I started on this big Triceratops, which is a good number of stitches. And this is actually the second to last dinosaur on the piece. There's one more kind of like tall, skinny one. It almost looks like a meerkat to me. That's the last dinosaur. So I think my approach is gonna be, I'm gonna finish this Triceratops out and then kind of like do all the plant. I don't know, I might knock out. I was debating about this because at this point, like, color completing is very appealing to me. And that last dinosaur has like 4 colors in it. It's got little like accents. It's got a stomach color, and then I think like a toe color and like a spine color. So it very annoyingly has like the last stitches of several colors. So I might blow through it. We'll see. I don't know. I'm debating between like, I don't know. That's for me to figure out. But yeah, we're just working our way down. It's going great. This chart is from Embroidery. I purchased this kit from them. It is their threads and their fabric, which I think is a 32 count. And yeah, this, like I said, this is my second oldest work in progress. This was started on my birthday, September 4th, given my whole birthday, 2021, 2021. Trying to get my whole age out here on the internet. Yeah, that's going great. I believe, I'm not mistaken, that I am under 1,500 stitches on that one. So, and I think even, again, this is another one that like when I charted out, my pace, I should have ended at the end of the year. But I think if I stick to my prescribed, like I did bump it to like 200 stitches a week. It should be done like early, like end of October or something. So now I'm thinking that this would be a good like Stitch North finish. So yeah, that is what I'm thinking with that. Next up, I have weirdly put a lot of stitches into my tea glass pattern by 8 Pixel. This is another, it's funny, these are kind of like a lot of projects that I have been making a conscious effort towards because they're not necessarily like calling to me. But this is a piece for my friend, and she had a little bit of surgery at the end of August. And so I kind of told her, and you know, she's recovering through most of September. So I told her I would make a concerted effort to try to put in daily stitches on this, at least through the month of September. And I would say a concerted effort has been made. There's been a day or two there, where it hasn't happened. And here's where it was, or whatever, last time I showed it. And here's where it is now. So I left it in the Q-snap because, like I said, it is getting daily stitches right now. But I'm really starting to see the illusion, which I am thankful for, because I just was really worried it wasn't working, that the pattern was betraying me. So this, so there's basically like 3 glasses on this, right? There's like this tall glass, this like short, more like, what do you call this? Like a highball glass. And then this like stemmed glass over here. So this tall glass in the back is, I believe, like 100% done with the stitching, except for there's like a leaf cut out here, and then, you know, a little bit of, but this is the glass in the front. Like everything that is purely this glass as of today is finally filled in, and I think it's looking really good. And I'm becoming a believer, and I think my goal is to try to fill this glass out next. And there's a lot more like chunky stitching in the shadows down here. But yeah, it's just very confetti heavy. And that has made it. And like I said, just the stitching process of it, it's definitely one that you kind of have to take a step back from, because up in the nitty gritty of it, it just doesn't really look like anything. So yeah, very happy to kind of see enough of the pattern to be like, okay, it's going to work. I like it. But yeah, this is 16 count Ada that my friend and I dyed when I went to visit her for this project. So she's had a hand in it, which I love. Oh, and I guess I should throw in a little sneaky bonus finish I'm gonna shout her out. So this piece is for Montana Friend. And she is the one I also stitched Felicity the Lobster for earlier this year. And she simultaneously, while I was working on Felicity, was stitching Tina the Crab, also from Emily Peacock. And I will put a picture of them together. She finished Tina! So just kudos to her. I'm so happy. She was a big motivator in getting me to cross stitch in the first place. She actually cross stitched before I did. And she was an extremely big motivator into me starting a Flosstube, which has been just such a positive experience, like I said. And she now has been having like pain and issues that have prevented her from being able to cross stitch so much. So it is really cool that these kits with this like large canvas that she was able to get in a setup where she could actually stitch this whole piece. And that's a full coverage piece. I mean, and I think it's the same dimensions as mine. So it's like 12,000 stitch piece she did. So I'm really happy for her that she was able to stitch that. So yay! Now I will keep you updated when she makes them into pillows. But for now, she's got to finish too. So we love to see it. Okay, back to the works in progress, or whips. Next up, I have my hashtag Moths Over Many Moons Sal. This was my birthday start this year. / autumnal start with Marjorie of Marjorie Made Stitches. And I am so jazzed how many folks have joined us. I think with the Salander, it is such a valuable resource, but also like I'm seeing so many Sals that it's like, how do you even decide? But I'm so jazzed how many of you have jumped on this. It's been really fun. This is a tiny modernist chart, as you were seeing here. And also I'm drooling over fabric choices. I'm rethinking my whole life, but not actually. I do like my fabric choice quite a lot. So I was watching the Thread Gremlins latest video the other day, and Amy is working on this, and she is already like, she had blown past my little sad start. So I was like, okay, I need to get on this quickly. So here is, I put another good day's worth of stitching in this, and I am really happy with my progress here. So yeah, I guess if I have a picture of before, I'll put it up. So this is my progress so far. I was able to add, so I have about a total of 500 stitches in this now. So it's looking looking a little more substantial, and I'm really happy to see that this fill color is like popping well. The lighting is making this kind of look weird, but in person it's definitely working. So this fabric is Fox and Rabbit Seaweed in 36 count. I love it. I think it is, these moths are just gonna glow on it. I'm actually very motivated to put some more. I might come back to this afternoon because the first moth is kind of right here in this corner. So I want to see how my Luna moth looks. And it was really interesting listening to their video because they said that they brought the chart, they showed the chart to like an entomologist friend of theirs, and that they were able to identify all the moths, and they were complimenting the color palette. So Amy's doing like lots of fun swaps from stash. It's gonna be gorgeous. I'm very happy to watch her progress. But I am doing all the called for DMC, but I did switch it up with the fabric a little bit, even though everyone's fabric looks so good. Cam the Stitchers is like so gorgeous. I even harassed her on Instagram today, and I think she's gonna send me a little piece of the fabric. And then I think also on Instagram earlier today, Jen's Fiber Web posted a picture that's more in the realm of Cam's, and said she's thinking about starting. So just thrilled. And there's a couple, I know someone started on my birthday. I just like, wow, the kindness, the enthusiasm and kindness has been just very heartwarming for sure. So that is my progress on Moths and the Moon, which is another one. It's not really, oh yeah, and this is in a bag made by Erin of the Hathaway Stitchers. So perfect. I guess technically that is not like a Halloween chart, but it's definitely going to be prioritized with my other Halloween charts in October. Okay, and then last but not least, my only Sal that I really have much progress on here. I was trying to catch up, and maybe this is what I should work on this afternoon, but this is the Arctic Animals Sal from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And here's where I was before. And I'm now like, there's a new part that I haven't started, and then I'm working on the, whatever. I have 2 animals to go. So yeah, I've been laying the foundation here for the puffins, actually. So the little puffins go here, and then to the right, they've released the Arctic hare, and there's gonna be water underneath here. So that's where I'm at. You can see, still got a bit to go there, but this is stitched on 16 count Opalescent Hamlet by Under the Sea Fabrics. And I am liking it. I don't know if it's just the stitching on Ada experience or what, but right now it's just kind of a lot of projects, maybe the more autumnal and Halloween charts excluded. It's a lot of projects that I'm just like, all right, I gotta muscle through this because I want the final product. But no, I'm having a good time. It's getting there. But yeah, this is my Frosted Pumpkin Sal. This is running through March of next year, so this is gonna be with us for a good while. And yeah, all called for DMC on that. I think quickly, I'm just gonna throw in the knitting right here. I always like break my videos up into sections, so if you don't care, you can hop forward. But quickly, I finished a sock. Tara, I've never seen this sock. When did you start it? You might ask yourself. 7 years ago, I think. 7 years ago, give or take. I was not keeping track of crafts in this way at that time. Is it blocked? No. I don't have sock blockers. I'm not a knitter, y'all. No, I can knit. I just don't really. But I like this sock a lot. So just look at my sock puppet here. So this is a pattern that is free. It is, I think, called like the Easy Cable Sock by Winwick Mum, I want to say. She's British. I will have the link below if you're interested. A friend had recommended this to me all those years and years and years ago. And so yeah, it's basically just like, it's completely knit around the back, but then there's sort of a front panel that you work that has 2 cables running down it. And so this sock like looks very tiny, but it does fit. I have tried it on, and I mean, it stretches out a lot there. And this is what the heel looks like. I don't know how to show this. I don't know what this yarn is. I know I bought it. There was like a yarn store north of Atlanta that was going out of business. And so some friends and I like trekked up there and bought things. So this is what it looks like. Couldn't tell you anything about it. Could not tell you anything about it other than that it is a weight appropriate for socks. I did go ahead and power through. I'm hoping the second sock will not take me 7 years as well. So I did go ahead and cast on the next sock. I am a double pointed needle user. It's been so long that I did really struggle to get these, to get them cast on. It took me several hours and a couple video finally realizing that I didn't really remember how to join in the round correctly. And anyway, we got there eventually. So this is the start. It is a cuff down design. And I got the next one started. So hoping, like I said, it doesn't take me 7 years to do this one. But we'll see. No promises. I casted it on. That's the hard part, right? So those are the socks. And then my other knitting project, there's a possibility you have seen on this channel if you have been around for a bit. This is from my Star Wars Knitting the Galaxy book. It is this scarf that you can see pictured on the front here, which I believe is called like the Starfighter scarf. I'm not sure. Please message me or comment if you have questions. It's living in this cute knitting bag back when I was buying knitting accessories like I was going to be a big time knitter. But I am happy to report, I think I have doubled what's on this since you've seen it last. So I have shown it on the channel, so this marker is where it was last time. So I have done a lot of work on this. This scarf is double knitted, so the image is reversed on the back, which was something that was extremely challenging to me. Don't look at that mistake. You can look at the back. The back looks better. The double knitting was extremely challenging to me initially, as I would consider myself like an intermediate to advanced knitter, maybe, possibly. I don't know. I've made one sweater. But yeah, so the double knitting was a lot to wrap my head around. But I am feeling a lot better about it now. And I think you can tell, because if you kind of look at it from a distance, I feel like my tension has tightened up a little bit, but it'll block out, right? So yeah, this is something I'm knitting for a friend. I actually did manage to get my hands on the called for yarn for this, which is, I believe, from Oink Pigments. Yeah, it's just 4 colors. It's black, white, red, and green, like you can see, and they are nice to work with. The black does stain. You can see I am like a continental knitter, so it does stain my finger there. So I don't know what that means in terms of this like being washed later, but oh well. Yeah, and because it's double knit, it's extremely squishy. It's like very nice to hold. It's a very soft yarn. Again, if you have questions, I'm so sorry. I'm not up on my yarn speak so much, but we are making progress on that. And I guess I should say, I felt that like whisper of the knitting bug, which does not hit me often. So I'm trying to grind through, like work through that and enjoy it while it's here. And so I actually was doing the math on this, because I think, again, this is something I started a couple years ago at this point, probably. And I was looking at the color work chart, and if I do 4 rows a day on this, I will be done by the end of the year. That's the goal. It's all happening. So far so good. I've been sticking with it. And today I actually even did 6, because that brought me to the end of one of the 4 charts. So I'm officially 25% done. I meant to say that. This is 25%. So it's worked over like 4 color work charts, and then you repeat them all. So once we get to 50%, you're not going to see more ships. But until then, we're seeing, all sorts of new stuff. So very exciting. But yeah, so I'm 25% done. I am through 2 of the color work charts. And that is that. That is the knitting. So that leads us into plans, which are just, I don't know, mostly loose. Like I have, again, I'm still trying to have my kind of like daily project that, sometimes it's 200 stitches a day, sometimes it's flexible, but a daily project, which right now is still the tea glasses through the end of the month. I have not touched Stitch for Pride or Celebrate All Year, so those are things I might want to consider starting this weekend. Nothing like waiting until the last 10 days of the month again. I mentioned last time some of my Halloween plans, which I think I'm going to stick with, which is that I have a couple of starts and things, but the goal is they're all relatively larger projects than they were last year when I did like 13 different stitches. And so I'm going to shoot for like 13% or 1,300 stitches, whatever is like working for me at the time. And I've not done either of my September Whip Go calls, which are to fully finish the Salem Sisters Apothecary piece and to start the, which is the like toe toads, warts and all, whatever. It's like from Hands On Design. Hopefully I'm putting a picture up. Yes. And then before we go to haul, I will sneak in here. I do want to have a little giveaway for 1,000 subscribers because I'm so grateful to you all for hanging out with me. It, like I said, cannot understate how much of a joy this has been. So I have 3 little ideas here. So the first 2 are going to be for my domestic friends, and the last one is going to be an international one. So for my first giveaway, I'm giving away a kit. I was looking through things and I just really don't think I'm gonna get around to this one, even though it is so cute. This came in the Black Needle Society's Nice List box last year, and this is Artist Designs Sugar, Spice, and Everything Nice. So cute. It's 131 by 73. And it is stitched on 32 count powder pink splash Lugana, which is what I have. They gave us the whole kit in the box, and that includes the threads. I'm not gonna lie to you, there's a possibility I took a thread out of here. So your results may vary, but it is most of the threads. It is certainly most of the threads. I'll double check. I don't know. You might not get all the threads, okay? Just please be at peace with that. But I'm gonna give this kit away, and the code word for this, you can leave a comment to enter, and not sponsored by YouTube. Please be over 18 so you can send me your mailing address. Please be subscribed and don't use any trigger words that might get the bots coming in. So don't say giveaway, don't say free, nothing like that. Code word for this is going to be sugar. So that's the first one. Second one, this is going to be awkward if none of y'all enter this, so please do. I showed in my last video that I made a bag with my project in it, and this was fabric that I had initially thought I would make that bag with, but I didn't, and I have a lot of it, as you can see. So I would like to make one of you a bag if you're interested, probably in this fabric. If you absolutely hate this fabric, we can try to work something out, but hopefully from my stash, please and thank you. I am going to make it in kind of the Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch style, like this. It's going to be sort of these dimensions. Again, I have enough that, we can chat if you want a little bigger, if you like a little smaller, we can figure it out. But it's generally going to be this style, vinyl front project bag, because I also have a ton of vinyl and I enjoyed sewing that type of bag. But, so just come with me on a journey here. I will make this. This will happen. I do want to caveat, obviously, the bag is not made. So please have patience with me. I'm not going to hard deadline myself. I will do my best. I am excited about this and I want to do this very much. So I will do this as fast as I am able to, but please have patience with me and know that this is not something that's going to come to you immediately, but hopefully something that is special and fun. So if you would like the chance to win a vinyl front project bag from me, I am not someone who sells bags, okay? Again, I think I will get my little resume out here. So this is the bag I made last time. Real, pretty straight. Zipper works, okay? I can guarantee these things. There might be a little schmutz on the side, but it will be a functional bag, okay? When it comes to you, I promise. I will try my hardest. If you would like to win a project bag made by me, please use the word olives for our martinis. And we will get you sorted with that. And then lastly, because I just want to, include people who I don't want to pay shipping to, if you are an international viewer who would like to enter to win, I will also be giving away $25 to Etsy. And so for that one, I'm going to say use the code word ocean. You don't have to be across the ocean from me, but that's okay. But we'll use that as the word. So for the kit, sugar. For the bag that will be olives. For the Etsy gift card, ocean. Thank you so much. Okay, so lastly, I have a little bit of purchases that happened, just a couple. So for kind of in the wake of my birthday / I mentioned last time that I might try to stitch from stash next year, not really buy patterns. So of course, naturally, that means I must now compulsively purchase patterns, right? Wrong, but it happened anyway. So I purchased a handful of patterns from Jed X Stitch on Instagram, and then their Etsy name I'll have here. I don't know how to pronounce it. Their designs are so good. I'm sure you've seen them around if you watch like Cam the Stitch or Marjorie Made. They're big fans of this designer. And I mean, from the moment I saw this, I knew I wanted it. It just kind of took, anyway, I needed the catalyst and I bought it. So they have a seasonal series of Korok patterns, which are fictional characters from the Legend of Zelda series, which has become my personality this year. And here they are. So they've not released the winter one yet, but I'm assuming there will be a winter one. So this is the spring Korok pattern, and then I purchased the summer, and then also the autumn. They're so cute, they're so adorable. And then the last one I purchased is Beauty is in the Eye of the Beholder. It might just be called Eye of the Beholder, or just the eye, I forget. But this is the chart, it's amazing. I really like this one, and I feel like it's going to be sort of, this one might get lumped in with Halloween stitching too, because to me it is an homage to the Magnus Archives podcast, which is so good, which I listened to starting last year and like finished it this year. And then now they have a new show called the Magnus Protocol that I've been catching up on, and so been really enjoying the Magnus content. It is a like horror anthology, I guess. It is extremely good. And I got Michaela of Cinematic Stitches on it, so if you've watched the last couple of her videos, she's been hyping it up too. It is very good. And then I want to show a couple of birthday gifts that came in. So my sweet mom, I had asked her for these wooden perforated paper frames that have been rising in popularity amongst the creators I watch. And I have a good number of ornaments, little perforated paper ornaments in my stash, and that I like to do. And so I wanted some, and I kind of gave her a bunch of options, and I don't think I really explained well what they were, because bless her heart, she thought that these were finishing supplies, like that you permanently frame things in here. So she was like, oh, the more the merrier, which is so generous of her. So she got me a 4-pack of this style, which to me, it looks like there are 2 main sellers out of Ukraine on Etsy. And this one is from Wonder Stitch. And the Wonder Stitch ones are cheaper. And so I guess fortunately I can do a little bit of a price comparison for you, because she bought one from the other seller as well. So this is, I don't remember the name of this shop, but I'll have it up as well. So this is the other shop. And just for comparison's sake, since I have just experienced this, these were ordered at the same time. These came much faster, like I think over a week faster, if that is of importance. And then this one also, not only did it come later, but for some reason it was signature required by USPS. So I had to answer the door to get this one and sign for it. I'm not sure why. So this is the Wonder Stitch ones. They feel pretty similar. I think, we can compare size to size here. They're made very similarly. They both have 3 magnets per edge. They both, I was noticing that the back piece is like thinner than the front, which, you know, just making observations in case you're looking at these. So these ones, there had happened to be a sale, so they were like significantly cheaper than these. And I really couldn't tell you why one would be more expensive than the other. But very happy about this. And now that I don't know that I really need 2 of the same size, so I'm not sure what I'll do with this. And these big ones, I don't think I've ever worked on anything this big. So the magnets are very strong, and you have to be careful because I have pinched myself pretty bad on these just playing with them. But I was gonna say, I'm wondering if maybe like if I mounted something on like mat board, say, like not foam board, but like mat board, if this could work as some kind of like swappable display of something in a series. So these ones in particular, I'm like, I might have to get creative and try to think of maybe a way to use them as a finishing item, because I don't know that I'll ever have a perforated piece that constitutes this size. But that was very sweet of my mom. Very grateful for that gift. And they do, yeah, like nest completely within each other. So like this arrived in a nice box all together. So that was very nice. And then from my brother, so a couple videos ago, Maria, the green stitcher, had commented on one of my videos where I was lamenting needle tarnishing, and she recommended this product. And I have a younger brother. He is in his early 20s. So he is sweet enough that he wants to get me a birthday gift. He is willing to do it, but I often just send him a link. So when she commented on my video and said, you know, hey, like this is something that I've had success with, and I looked it up and it was $12, I just sent him the link and said, happy birthday to me. Thank you so much, little brother. So he did buy it for me. So yeah, I have been, you know, kind of running my needles through. I don't really have any profound thoughts on this yet. I guess I could demo this if you've never seen a product like this, but it's marketed as a needle sharpener. And so yeah, you just like stab the inside of the macaron here and kind of work it back and forth. And it is supposed to, yeah, sharpen your needle, which Maria said she has found in her experience helps with tarnishing. So I think this is going to be a little bit more of a long-term, like, do I feel like I'm getting longer use out of my needles before they feel too gross to use or not? So for my fellow tarnishers out there, this is an option. We have one anecdote and I will let you know how I feel about it. Yes. Okay. So that is that. And then lastly, I had a little moment, because this was on sale and I've seen so many people who own this item. I'm going to block the mirror part for a second here so you're not like blinded, but I did get the metal bat mirror from, Joann's. I'm very excited about it. If you've not seen this, I mostly have seen finishing of this with this in the Autumn Lane Stitchery Facebook group. Yeah, here's like you can see my trees outside. Yeah, it's a big old mirror. It's a big mirror and it is metal, which is nice. And the mirror itself, here, yeah, I guess maybe this is a better way to hold it so you can get the idea. The mirror can like pop out, which is nice. So I have seen people finish cross stitch in this. Do I have a project for this right now? No. But luckily, I mean, I love this as is. Like I said, it's metal, so it feels pretty nice and weighty. I guess normally retails for $50, but was 50% off online and was $25. And yeah, I just thought, apparently, I don't feel like these stores often repeat products, and this was on sale last year and went back on sale this year. So I had a little bit of like well, what if I can never get it again? So I don't currently have a work in progress that I feel will fit into this, nor do I have a pattern that I own that I feel will be a good fit for this. I've seen some folks do like really nice mounting of maybe like a 6-inch or an 8-inch hoop in here, and kind of like a nice background around it. And then the Away We Ride by Autumn Lane Stitchery, some people have finished that piece, like works for the whole surface area of the mirror here. So yeah, very cool finishing item, and luckily it is fully functional decor as is. And maybe one day it'll be a finishing item, but if not, like I said, I like it as is, so I'm not mad about it. And that is it. That is all of the stitching and plans and everything. I will close it out quickly with a little like reading, watching, playing. I have been playing a lot of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword because that is the game I have been on for a minute now. I'm hoping to wrap it up before The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom comes out in 5 days. So I am getting close to the end of Skyward Sword. I think it went on a lot longer than I thought it would, which is like good. There's more game, but also it's been a struggle because that game was designed for the Wii, and it is like designed to have motion controls, and I'm not playing with motion controls. So there's some aspects that some of the buttons not super intuitive, especially to a more like a novice gamer like me, but that has been really fun. I've also been playing with my brother a cooperative game called Bakura, and or Bokura, I'm not sure. And this is a very interesting game. I think you could also get it on like mobile devices, but we're playing it on PC, and you and your friend, it requires 2 players, so you and your friend are playing 2 brothers who are running away from their parents, or sorry, 2 friends, they're not brothers, 2 friends, and they're running away from their parents, and they go into the woods, and they're having sort of like, they're seeing things differently. So one of the boys is seeing kind of like the landscape looks more like a forest. Like the characters, hopefully you're seeing photos, the characters look like a duck and like a little bear, I think. And then the other player, the other boy, is seeing from the perspective of kind of a more like kind of cyberpunk world, I guess. He's seeing more like robots and like mechanical things. And so you're playing through and you're kind of like puzzling along, and there are some things that like one player sees that the other player doesn't, so you have to communicate that. And then there are also cutscene moments where you're not supposed to talk to each other, and you see different things, you talk to different people, and then when the game kind of reunites you, usually shortly after that, there's like a moment where you have a question, and usually you have, like, so far in our experience, like we have different opinions on how we want to answer that question based off the cutscene that we watched, but you have to come to a like consensus on what you want to do. So it's been interesting. It's been a good one. So it's one that I thought would be like, it's a not very expensive game. Like I thought maybe it was much more about like the puzzling, and like there wouldn't maybe be much story, but the story is kind of dark and deep. And now at this point, like my brother and I are kind of like, like I could take or leave the gameplay, but we are like invested in the story. So yeah, that's been a good one as well. I've been watching a lot of Flosstube, and then I do keep up with like The Bachelor, so Golden Bachelorette just came on, and I also binged The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, which is extremely interesting in and of itself to watch, but really more so what I've been watching is a ton of ex-Mormon content. because I just don't have a lot of familiarity with the LDS faith. And like we had a family that lived down the road from us growing up that were LDS, but like my sister was friends with one of the kids and like my brother was friends with one of the kids, but there was not like an equivalent my age that I got along with. So anyway, so that's kind of the only limited experience I've had. And so it's been very interesting listening to some of the like these YouTube commentary channels that are from like ex-Mormon people sharing on some of their experiences. And a lot of them have like commentary on that show, which gives a lot of additional context. So that I've been watching a lot of that. And yeah, as far as reading, I have not really been reading much because I've been crafting and I've been listening to Magnus Protocol, as I said, more so than reading right now. But yeah, that is all I got for you. Thank you again if you hung around this far. Thank you if you have subscribed. Yeah, truly so fun, and hopefully something in the giveaway caught your eye, and best of luck. I will see you in about 2 weeks. I think apparently right now it's Friday, and I didn't really plan for this, but I think Friday filming is maybe working for me, and then trying to post on the weekend, which is hopefully nice for folks. I don't know. But I have no real, it's always like loosely 2 weeks. It's not so much like a day that you could expect an upload from me, but I'm pretty consistent on the 2-ish weeks. So with that, hope everyone is taking care and that you find some time to stitch and that you have been stitching. And I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you so much, everyone. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.